All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Raw Post Show. I'm your boy Ango, and shout out to everybody joining us. It's been a while since I've done a live post show, and it's really strange because it's not 11 p.m. So that's what makes this even more strange than ever. It's 5:35. Raw started at 3 o'clock. It ended in about 2.5 hours, and I don't know what the hell it was with Triple H and WWE today, but this almost felt like a go-home show to WrestleMania. It definitely felt like a very big deal, and it felt like everything really connected well. So I'm actually like really excited to talk about it, and of course, I really just want to engage with you guys in the chat. It's just me today. Billy was doing a watch-along, and they had a pretty big ending. They had a pretty big beginning. They had a pretty big middle part. A lot of stories being furthered. We got another WrestleMania match confirmed. So I'm excited to talk about it, and I'm going to pull your guys' messages up on the stream. But of course, we do have a super chat goal if you guys want to support the show, if you guys want to support me and all that good stuff. It's definitely appreciated, and definitely a lot to talk about. It feels so strange talking about Raw at this time, though. And this is going to be the last time that WWE goes live at 3 p.m. Eastern time because the international tour is now concluded. So what this means is very specific. Next week's Raw will be in Minnesota, and that's going to be back at 8 p.m. So it's a very, very crazy thing to even think about at the moment, because the thing with Netflix, with WWE just being able to do different time slots and stuff like that is just really crazy. So I definitely want to have a serious conversation about this, especially if you guys watch the Ango show live today at 12 p.m. You know, I had a lot to say about John Cena and Cody Rhodes, and today they did some stuff that got me a little bit more excited. It doesn't mean I'm fully excited, but it was a very, very solid Raw. Honestly, a very good Raw. Like, WWE, I think, really delivered a fantastic episode. And, you know, it's good to see that, honestly. When you look at WWE and everything like that, it's really good to see. One thing I do have, I'm testing it out on today's stream, by the way, but we have something called a hype jar, which you guys can see right there. And I think with like super chats and follows and memberships and stuff, I believe this jar will get full. So as you guys hype up the stream and do all that good stuff, we should see that jar getting full. I have no idea how it works. I've never used it before, but of course, we are trying to make our streams and everything interactive, and obviously it's really fun when we do that. But a couple shout outs I want to give to the chat. I see Phil's in here, Chester, Trey Lusato, David Decker, Ayush, Howie Kemper, Wilson, Justin Kennington's in the chat. Really exciting, to be honest. I see El Bardo in the chat as well. I did fix the super chat thing, so if you guys do drop super chats, I should be able to pull them up and show them on the screen again. Because I had technical issues earlier today, but it looks like I fixed that. Shout out to a lot of you guys in the chat who are here. Shout out to Carlos. Appreciate you all stopping by. But yeah, it's really interesting, man. WWE Raw really had an interesting episode because I was very, very happy with what we saw with John Cena and Cody. That promo battle was exactly what we needed. You know, Cody Rhodes showing intensity and really standing up for himself. And then obviously John Cena really, really going into Cody. He had punches after punches after punches. I mean, literally just bars. Just straight up bars against Cody. And something about building an empire for billionaires only for Cody to steal money from billionaires' kids. Just really, really cool to see that it was really cool to see that both guys just really laid it all out there. And then Cody had the infamous line. You know, one thing I could say is that I've never heard the chant, "You can't wrestle." And that prompted John Cena to get back in the ring. And that was really cool, in my opinion, because when you see John Cena get back in the ring, it looks like he's not going to attack Cody. He turns around, tries to throw a punch. Cody reverses it into a crossroads. And I'm looking at the chat, and I saw somebody say that I could have done without the physicality. But I'll be honest with you, man. I needed to see physicality in this feud. And we don't know. Like, this is like the only thing that really bothered me. If I could be genuinely honest with you guys, the one thing I don't know is, will we actually see John Cena again? Because John Cena is not being advertised anymore. And the only thing I could be thinking of is, if John Cena is not being advertised anymore, then maybe we'll get John Cena as a surprise attacking Cody and beating Cody up. That's the only thing I could see coming at this point. And then that would be logical, right? Because Cody wouldn't be expecting John Cena if he's not being advertised for it. And then obviously after getting hit with the crossroads, that would obviously mean, you know, John Cena's sneak attack. Like, it's logical for sure. 100% logical. But that was just like really, really good stuff. I don't know. I know some people don't like the physicality, but I needed physicality. I needed something to happen. And quite frankly, I needed something. I was really hoping that by the end of the night, they would show John Cena just beating the hell out of Cody, but they didn't do that. WWE Raw ended tonight with Rhea Ripley basically being the one who just went crazy because of the fact that there was a double DQ. And that was a solid ending too, but it would have been really nice to show like the cameras or the production crew like rushing backstage because Cody's getting his ass beat or something. And they didn't do that. But it was very cool compared to, like, if you guys were watching what I had said on the Ango show live at 12, I was like, I just need more from them, bro. Like, I'm not as excited. And trust me, I'm not 100%, but this promo battle definitely was a step in the right direction. It was definitely needed. It was definitely something that WWE had to do, because quite frankly, if you don't deliver those big promo battles, if you don't deliver those big segments, then it just seems like it's a rehash every week. And I was very glad that they did that in a way. I was glad that they did it in a way where, like, it just got me excited, to be honest. It just got me excited. And I think that's really huge, bro. I think that's really huge, and that's like a really big thing that needs to be talked about. We got a super chat to kick things off, and I just saw the tip jar, or the hype jar is what it's called. The hype jar already had something filling up the glass, so we'll see if we can fill up the glass by the end of the stream. I have no idea. I thought that was a really cool concept that somebody showed me, so we'll check that out. But Joseph Martin kicking things off, he says for $1.99, wanted to see the physicality on the Go Home show. Joseph, I got to be honest with you. I think this is a really interesting thing that you're bringing up, because if you wanted WWE to hold off on the physicality between John and Cena, I could understand that idea or that narrative. But one thing I do want to throw out there is, like I said earlier on the stream, John Cena is not being advertised anymore. So logically speaking, if we were to watch Cody, you know, on Raw in a few weeks or next week or whenever it may be, and then the episode shows the production crew, you know, rushing backstage because Cody's getting his ass beat by John Cena, that would be the ultimate surprise. And it would make sense for John Cena to go after Cody, because now Cody just hit him with the crossroads, right? And obviously Cody Rhodes would never have seen it coming because John Cena is not actually advertised for the show. So I understand that you wanted to see the physicality on the Go Home show, but WWE really needed to do something today to make the segment bigger. And John and Cody really delivered that great promo battle. The crossroads was just a little taste of what's to come. But I definitely agree, like, if we don't get it, you know, next week or the week after or whatever, on the Go Home show, very much like The Rock beating the hell out of Cody outside, like, we need to see something like that from John Cena to Cody. But we'll see if that happens. You never know with WWE. At this point, there was a lot of great things in this segment, but I still feel like there is more that I desire from it, and I was kind of expecting it to at least end the show tonight, and we didn't get that. Shout out to Joseph Martin for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Phil adding more to the hype jar. He says with a $9.99 super chat, this week's Raw did a lot more to build Mania than the last few weeks. The three-way at Mania for the Raw women's title seems inevitable. I believe we will see Cena again at some point in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, so I definitely agree with this, right? They definitely did a great job with building to WrestleMania, and I felt like today was kind of, I don't know if it was because WWE just understood the criticism or if this is kind of how WWE's plan is, but when you look at what happened with Gunther and Jey Uso and Jimmy, I mean, that that really elevated the feud, right? Just extremely elevated the feud. And then even Logan Paul and AJ Styles, right? Really elevated the feud. Like, that was really just some incredible stuff right there. Obviously, with the women's, we can't deny it. Like, that triple threat is going to be bound to happen. But it's so crazy to see Rhea and Io and Bianca deliver this. I know that the double DQ is so predictable, and maybe it's not the most incredibly fun thing that you're looking at because it is predictable, but I feel like they're executing something really special there. And so they've continued to push that. But not only that, I mean, even like a lot of people were talking about the New Day and the Raw tag team division, right? We even had this conversation on the Ango show today at 12 p.m. But the one thing that needs to be discussed is, hey, look at what they're doing now with the New Day. They beat Tyler Bate, returned as a surprise, and New Catch Republic were there tag teaming against the New Day in London. And everybody, of course, thinks because they're in the UK that New Catch Republic is going to win, but they don't. The New Day win, and now we got the New Day going face-to-face with the War Raiders. So it's not perfect by any means, but if WWE wants to have a Raw Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania, you've already laid the footprint for it. You laid the groundwork for it. But if you don't want to do it at WrestleMania, then obviously they could do it on the Raw before WrestleMania or the Raw after WrestleMania. Who knows? We really don't know what the full card is shaping up to be. But I do agree 100% that, like, this was done correctly. Like, this show, when you look at it, even look at Penta and Braun Breaker. Penta got pinned by Finn Balor, but they did this in such a way where it's like awesome. It's a fatal 4-way match. Penta needs to have a pinfall loss at some point, you know. It furthers the story of him going after the Intercontinental Championship. It furthers the story because even if you look after the match, right, with Finn Balor and Dominic winning the tag team match, then you have Finn's talking to the Judgment Day, and Finn's talking about how he wins and he's going to talk to Adam Pearce about getting an Intercontinental Championship match. He walks away from the scene, and then what do you have? Liv Morgan talking to Dom and basically throwing Finn under the bus. I mean, the Judgment Day is imploding, but it's crazy that Liv Morgan is I don't think Liv Morgan genuinely cares about Dom. I just think she doesn't like Finn Balor being the leader of the group. She doesn't like that. And that kind of leadership, right? So now you have Liv basically undermining Finn Balor to Dominic Mysterio. Okay, well, that's going to be really cool if we get the Fatal 4-Way or maybe a 6-man Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania. I think that's like, again, these things are happening on TV, but they are building to WrestleMania. And I think that's why Raw was so unique today, because we are watching the show literally play out, and then you see very quickly what is happening. Just very, very cool stuff there. So shout out to Phil for the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, man. I do want to give a shout out to our boy, Right Hand Cam. He's renewed his membership for 27 months. 27 months on the job squad. So shout out to Right Hand Cam. He says, I was entertained. Raw was 9 out of 10. And really, I'm curious, guys. You could let me know what you think in the chat, because I'm going to be pulling up messages. But what do you guys rank Raw tonight? I definitely think with Cam, I'm going up there 9, 9.5, 9.8 out of 10, because I really feel like Raw was that good of an episode. It was a very good episode. The only thing that was really funny, though, I will say this. Cam dropped the membership renewal, and then for some reason in the jar, I don't know why this happened. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but the little thing didn't go into the jar. It like fell out. So the hype jar exists. We'll see how good it is. But shout out to Right Hand Cam for the membership, and just thank you guys so much for supporting. I appreciate it, and thank you again. A lot of people in the chat are coming through with their ratings. Joseph Martin says 7. Anthony Cruz says 8.75. Oh, we're getting into the decimals, baby. We're getting into the nitty gritty. Miles Jubert Roberson, who's also a member on the channel, says, I second that, 9 out of 10. Hidden Network says 9 out of 10. Phil is saying 9.5 out of 10. Chester says 9 out of 10. Tay Tay the Savior says 9 out of 10. whereas 24 is saying 9 out of 10. So clearly a lot of people agree that this was a solid show. So obviously that's a good thing. I mean, look guys, you pay for a Netflix membership or whatever. Yeah, you're watching Raw. It's 3 p.m. It's early in the day. Some of you guys are still at work. Some of you guys are at home. Maybe some of you guys are at school. Yeah, deep down inside, you're kind of in a situation where, like, if you're gonna waste any time to watch it during the day instead of its normal time slot, you're hoping that it's a good episode, and that's obviously a really good thing. Keelan Lampkin says 9 out of 10. And then obviously Cam started the whole conversation with 9 out of 10. Phil's at work right now, and he was able to tune into Raw, which was cool. I mean, guys, it's significant, man. When you really look at what WWE has done, it's good stuff, bro. It was really, really good stuff. And that's really what they need to do. I mean, I hate to be that guy that like really talks that talk about WWE and AEW, but right now there is a little bit of a narrative that, like, WWE is getting lazy. And the road to WrestleMania, you can't be lazy, bro. You can't. You got to be firing on all cylinders. And I think that was the most important aspect that wasn't being talked about. It's like, the stories exist, right? The stories are good. They exist and they're happening. But if you compare it year over year, look at WrestleMania 40's build. Everything just felt so significant. And it felt like this year, it was like, it's not that nothing feels important, because they all feel important, but it's just like nothing is really like groundbreaking. Like nothing is really like, wow, this is amazing, 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 amazing. It's good stuff, but it just didn't come across that way. And like, even look, bro, like, people are going to hate me for this, but I don't care. Logan Paul kills it. He kills it in the segment with AJ. He hits the pulverizer and he's killing it there. So, like, even now, I'm excited. I'm so excited. They've confirmed that match is happening at WrestleMania. You best believe I want to watch it. You best believe I want to see what happens with AJ Styles and Logan Paul. You know? Like, that's a match, like, you know, some people were thinking, oh, maybe AJ Styles and Karrion Kross, or maybe AJ Styles and Penta, or AJ Styles and Braun Breaker. No, man. AJ Styles is a legend. He's not going to have too many WrestleManias left. You give him a singles match. You can have him beat Logan Paul, which I think he should beat Logan Paul. But Logan Paul and AJ delivered, and it's like, oh man, now I want to see that feud. I want to see this feud continue and grow and get bigger and better. And that's what WWE's got to do, man. You got to make these smaller feuds. It's different. You know, it's different. When you have, like, let's just be real. You have your world championship feuds, and they're great, right? But what about the undercard? What about the matches that aren't for a title? You know, and that's the thing that I really wish to put the emphasis on with WWE and AEW and TNA and all these companies. It's like, we know you guys can do some really great stories for the world title. We don't question that. I don't think people in the IWC question that. But, like, you're looking at AJ Styles and Logan Paul, and you're like, I don't know about this. Oh, okay, you keep paying attention, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's really good. Yeah, you gotta make those moments count. That TV time, there's only so much TV time. You gotta make those moments count. Which, to be fair, I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. Like, Logan Paul at WrestleMania, I don't feel like he's really needed at WrestleMania. I understand why they utilize him, but him and AJ should be a fun feud for sure. A very, very fun feud. Phil says, I'm so glad Raw will be back at 8 p.m. next week when I'm done with work. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm so weird about the time schedule, because sometimes I like it during the day, sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I like when Raw's on during the day, and then sometimes I like it when it's at night. It's just so hard because, like, for me, you guys got to think. I think like a business person, because this is my business, right? So if I make a video during the day, and I make 2 videos per day on the main channel, typically, early AM and then PM upload, right? Well, when Raw's on at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I can't put out that second video, because who's going to watch it when they're watching Raw? You know what I mean? So it kind of hurts my business with Raw technically being on. But it's just something to point out. I do think that Raw at 8 p.m., which, by the way, I know a lot of people disagree with me here, but if you, excuse me, busy day. But if you chill at night, like imagine this: you're chilling in your bed, your room is all clean and cozy, and the vibe's all nice, and you just prop up and chill and watch wrestling. It's fine. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you're probably not over analytical. You're probably just watching it. You're probably just enjoying the vibe. It's 3 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever. You're good. But I think sometimes it's like, and I know this for me personally speaking, like if you are, I said this to Billy, like if you're sitting there doing a watch along and you're like forcing yourself to watch it and facing the screen and like you're super analytical about everything, sometimes it sucks. Sometimes wrestling is just better when you could just sit back, relax, and watch it and pay attention, and that's it. And sometimes you pay attention even a little bit more to the things that are happening. So I can't wait for Raw to go back to 8 p.m. It's gonna be really funny. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I wasn't tired all day, but now apparently I am. But I think it's really funny. Like going next week, they're gonna be in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Are gonna have Raw next week. And I very much look forward to seeing how that's going to look like, because the crowds have been so great in the UK and in Europe, where like, I don't know if we have faith in Minnesota, you know? And I really hope that these international crowds like inspire fans to just go crazy and be loud and crazy and, you know, but sometimes you get these American crowds and that's not necessarily the case, you know? So that's something to keep in mind. Joseph says 2 a.m. New Japan Pro Wrestling start sucks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anybody remembers, but when Mercedes debuted in New Japan, I did like a live review thing. And I remember that day very specifically because I woke up so early. I bought McDonald's breakfast. And I was chilling in the office, watching it, and did my live review and my videos and stuff. And I remember, honestly, I genuinely remember being like, oh, it was such a cool thing. I'm so glad I stayed up for it. And then I looked at like the business metrics of it, and it just didn't translate well at all, like for my channel. And I remember just being like it was so cool, but bro, like I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I literally had like, I don't know. I don't even eat McDonald's like that, but it was like 5 a.m. I wanted a coffee. I got like a coffee or some shit, and I was sitting there. And I remember just watching New Japan, like straight up so early, and just being like, nobody really cares, you know? And then I didn't really enjoy it because to me it felt like work because I had to wake up so early and shit. And what makes me really love YouTube as a job, by the way, is because it doesn't feel like work. It feels like we have a really dope community. We all come together and stuff. So that is something to point out. And I don't know. I think watching wrestling, it's so crazy. I'm so tired because I stay up late and all I do is work. All I do is grind, guys. That's it. But I feel like watching wrestling has become, it's a lot more enjoyable when you can watch wrestling and like just relax. You know, just relax and watch it. That's all. Um, I gotta grab a water, so I will be right back. And yeah, let me go grab a water really quick. I'll be RB. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. It's so funny. TJR, what did you say? With Raw during the day, it makes you feel tired. Now you're used to... Yeah, dude, I was so used to the night shows for a long time. I just feel like my routine is screwed, honestly. Like, I don't think people realize it, but my routine is definitely screwed. Definitely screwed. And it's tiring, too, because I don't typically live stream after Raw anymore. Honestly. Like, I do the live stream. I stick to the schedule, 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then I do love doing the live shows on Monday at 12 p.m. Monday through Friday. I love that. Like, to me, that's probably the funnest thing I do on YouTube is going live. So it's really funny. Like today, like I did my 12 p.m. live show, and then Billy was doing a watch along. I popped up in there for a few, and I was watching his watch along. I was watching Raw, and I thought Billy was doing a great job with that. So it was cool because I don't do watch alongs, and I won't do watch alongs. I can't do a watch along, bro. I want to sit back, relax, and enjoy it, and just watch it, and that's it. So it's completely different. So I decided, like, I'm gonna just chill, I'm gonna just relax and watch it. But at the same time too, because it's on during the day and YouTube stuff is my job, I'm busy sending out emails and stuff. And yeah, it was a very time constricting thing. So now we are live, and then of course I am gonna put out another video. So yeah, dude, it was just like a really interesting thing. I do look forward to when WWE goes back at 8 p.m. though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think once they go back at 8 p.m., I'm going to feel a lot better because I don't go live after 8 p.m. Like, if the show ends at 10:30 or 11 o'clock, I don't go live after, which makes me wonder, what am I going to do for WrestleMania week? I don't know. WrestleMania week is always massive for the channel, and we'll see how that changes or how that goes this year, but I don't know just yet. So, still trying to figure out that schedule. I will do post shows for WrestleMania. I always do, and I want to do post shows only for pay-per-views, but it just really depends on the schedule and stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, we'll figure it out as time goes on, and then it's so hard, man. I think a lot of people, and realistically, man, like, I know people aren't gonna want to hear this, but my job is to talk about wrestling. But I watch Raw, NXT, Dynamite, SmackDown, Collision, TNA. I watch Deadlock. I watch GCW. Like, I watch so much wrestling. Like, I have to limit. Like, there are going to be certain things I cut off. And I don't know if it's going to be, you know, some of the smaller companies. I don't know what it is going to be. But I do need to, like, relax a little bit with how much I watch, because it's tiring, bro. It's too much. And I also watch sports. I do have a personal life, too. But I'm so dedicated to... I don't know. MJF just dropped a tweet today. Just a few minutes ago. I'm gonna read this tweet to you guys. MJF says, "I truly don't get why fans get up in arms when WWE mentions or references AEW, or when AEW mentions or references WWE. If you want to be treated like children, watch Elmo, or better yet, tell Vince Kennedy McMahon to start a new promotion." So funny, bro. So funny. Yeah. I don't disagree, bro. I don't disagree. Miles says, "You still catch LFG and Evolve as well." Yeah, I do. And the thing is, I actually really like watching Evolve. I love watching Evolve. I love it. And who knows, man? Like, maybe I'll change some of my live watching habits too. Because the good thing is, because I don't do post shows, I don't really have to watch live anymore, which is a nice thing. So that is a possibility, and maybe I can make that change too. But I do enjoy watching wrestling. So, like, even tonight, like, I was really, really, really happy with the Cody and Cena segment. But then I was also really happy with the Gunther, Jimmy, Jey Uso thing. Phenomenal stuff there. Like, really phenomenal stuff. So it's just like that. Those are the feel good moments when you're watching a show and you're like, oh, this is like that good, right? But yeah, man. Miles is a member of our channel. He's part of the channel memberships. He says, your thoughts on Jessica's Evolve's debut as Calyx? It's cool, man. Good for her, you know? She's a referee in WWE and they allowed her to put on a mask and wrestle. I don't know what the plan is, you know, for her moving forward. I don't know if they're going to keep using her, but she's good. She'll even get better the more she wrestles. LFG is great. I love LFG. I love those reality-based shows. The thing about those, though, is you don't have to watch them live. You know, you could watch it on DVR. Am I missing a super chat? I don't know if I'm missing a super chat. I thought I was missing a super chat. No? Okay. David, though, I'll throw this comment up on the screen because David is always here, man. David always shows up. David says that Gunther, Jimmy, and Jay segment saved the feud. Yeah, no, listen, I like the feud. I like the Jimmy, I like the Jay and Gunther thing, but man, you incorporated the blood, Jimmy getting his ass kicked, Jay being zip tied to the rope. It's really, really good, man. The feud was already good in my opinion, but that just took it to the next level, and Gunther is so good. But it just tells me that Gunther is dropping the belt to Jay, and I have no problem with that. I did see somebody on Twitter say something like it would be really big for the babyface arc for Jay and Roman if Roman before WrestleMania goes to Jay and reminds him like, hey, you can actually beat him. You can do this. So that would be really cool too. You know what I mean? We'll see if that were to happen. I saw that tweet and I was very impressed with that idea for sure. So shout out to David, by the way. David's always pulling up in the streams. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to everybody, man. You guys come through, and it's just so appreciated, man. Pedro Rivera dropping a $4.99. Thank you for your donation, Pedro. You don't have a comment with your super chat, but thank you for that, man. You did add to the hype jar, so that's cool. The hype jar is got 3 little gems in there. I don't know what the hell's in the hype jar. I don't know maybe if I could customize that either, but I just thought that was funny. And maybe we'll bring the hype jar for like the 12 p.m. show too. I don't really expect too much on these kind of like random live streams, but shout out to Pedro. Thank you so much. And if you have a comment or something, Pedro, that you want me to read, I know you didn't put it with your super chat, but if there's something you want me to read or something you have to ask, you can let me know. Because I'll be happy to do that. And this is a reminder. I just want to let you guys know. I don't know if I said this on the I don't know if I said this on the stream earlier today, but I do have a Twitch account and I am going to start gaming on Twitch. I think I'm going to be gaming on Twitch. So it might be FIFA, it might be Call of Duty, it might be, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I swear I really don't know. But yeah, I'm sure we'll figure that out. So yeah, that'll be really cool. Shout out to Christopher Olave for subscribing as well to the channel. So when you guys subscribe to the channel, I'm going to start shouting you guys out too once I get notified on those. So shout out to Christopher Olave or Olav. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but shout out to you. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, bro. Trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, so that'll be really cool. Pedro didn't put anything in the chat. So Pedro, if you do, I'm going to try to pay attention to the chat, but thank you for your super chat. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the hype jar looks like, bro. It's my first time doing it. Literally, I'm just trying to think of fun ways to like make it more interactive and stuff. And I don't know. I was trying. Maybe. Oh yeah, I have this too. I forgot about this. I totally forgot I had the live chat on here. Look at that, guys. I totally forgot I designed this. So Yeah. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It's just kind of fun to like design stuff, and I don't know. I'm going to try to make something even better, maybe even better like quality or like more fun or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we want to have a nice looking interactive fun little stream. So Phil says Chris Olave, Saints wide receiver. I don't know, bro. How am I supposed to know? Let me look. Let me pull up the channel. It doesn't show me a picture of anybody from the Saints, so I don't know who that is. Maybe it's just a fan, or maybe it's the real wide receiver. So we'll see how that goes. Joseph Martin, he says, let's get the hype jar overflowing. He drops a $4.99. Brother, I don't know how we get the hype jar overflowing. I have no idea. But shout out to you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. Shout out to Pee Wee as well. He says Raw was 10 out of 10. So shout out to Pee Wee. I think it counts how many super chats you get. But see, the thing is, I use Stream Elements. So Stream Elements doesn't say what's included, but I think maybe memberships too go in there. I don't know. I think memberships and super chat. I have no idea, bro. I honestly can't say. So we got a couple gems in there. So shout out to all of you guys for contributing. And shout out to our good friend Joseph Martin. That was really dope. Thank you, man. But yeah, I'll try to come up with like some really cool like stream design. I think the one that me and Billy have is pretty cool. Oh shit. Joseph Martin dropped a super chat, but did you guys see this? Am I tripping? Joseph Martin dropped another $1.99, but the thing didn't go into the jar. It fell. Like it hit the top of it, and then I don't know. Am I tripping, or did you guys see that? That's so funny, bro. Shout out to Joseph Martin. He's really trying to make the hype jar big and full. I have a feeling though, just by looking at it, we're gonna need to do a lot more than that, bro. But we did hit our super chat goal, so shout out to everybody who dropped a super chat. Thank you for that. What did you guys think? What did you guys think of Gunther and Jimmy and Jay? Like, to me, I can't get over how good that was, bro. That to me was just like a no-brainer, like just like excellent stuff, you know? Like, to me, that was like just game changer. Byron Cutler says cinema. Miles says pure brutality. Tay says love the beatdown of Jimmy. Yeah, man, it's just that good. It was sick, bro. The Gunther and Jay segment took it to a personal level. Yeah. It just changed the whole thing, the whole dynamic of the feud. And I mean, it really sells me that Jay is winning the championship. You don't do this to Jay and not have him win the championship. I'm looking at Twitter too. Twitter has a really good reaction to the show. Phil says I'm kicking off night one with Jay winning, not gonna lie. Yeah, for sure, right? I feel like that's like a no-brainer. Actually, let's do this. Let's move the live chat on this screen too. Sweet. That just makes it a little bit easier to pay attention to the chat. Safe Malak says, can't wait to see the first match of Rey Fenix on SmackDown. Yeah, there was also a Lucha Bros reference too on commentary, so that was cool. Jonathan Santiago says, and the Cena and Rhodes segment was funny and great. I agree. Just really good bars, bro. Back and forth. That's what it's all about, man. The beatdown was better than the match. Yeah, well, the match was supposed to not be like a great match. You know what I mean? You can't have Jimmy going into that match and like overshadowing Jay. You know what I mean? You can't let Jimmy go out there and outshine Jay. So you kind of need to get his ass beat. And then the post-match shenanigans. What was crazy about that, though, too, was they did go to commercial break, which I was fascinated by. Because they went to commercial break, and then once they did that, it was like... I don't know how to explain it, bro. That was pretty cool, though. They went to commercial break and came back, and he's still getting his ass beaten. The blood, and then Gunther tasting the blood. It was just really good stuff there. I was very, very happy about that for sure. Just perfect execution. I liked Barrett joining Cole and Pat today. Yeah, I agree. I like that. And then we could actually throw this up on the screen too. When Sammy comes back, does he go after Jay? Buddy, I've been saying it for months. For months. Sammy is not going to like Jay being the champion. We're going to see that heel turn happen. Jose Martinez says, where's The Rock? That's a great question. We didn't get him. We didn't get The Rock there today. So, I don't know, man. I think that's like the tough thing, right? The Rock isn't there. I mean, John Cena did mention The Rock, but we didn't see The Rock on TV. And I am missing that part of it. So hopefully The Rock and Cena and Travis Scott pull up one of these days. I don't know. Oh, and then also Ludwig Kaiser did like the ringside thing during the Netflix commercial break. He wants a WrestleMania match. So that's cool. We'll see what they do with the Intercontinental Championship. It felt like a go-home show for me, though. So that's cool. I'm with it, man. Will Travis Scott smoke a blunt at WrestleMania? Yeah, probably. Ain't that some shit? But also, don't do drugs. And weed is bad for you. So, I'm not an advocate for that. Kaiser will turn on Gunther. Hey, you never know. Do we have 2 Raws left? I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, we have 2 more Raws. So we'll see what they do there. That's going to be interesting, huh? Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do, man. Like I said, though, John Cena not being there is going to be a very, very, very slippery slope for WWE. I think they got to be very careful with John Cena not showing up until WrestleMania. So hopefully I'm right about what I was saying. You know what I mean? If John Cena attacks him, unexpected, that's beautiful. John Moxley's not coming back to WWE. Don't spread misinformation. Don't do that. Don't do that in the chat, man. Because that's not happening. That's definitely not happening. John Moxley, he about to stay there forever, bro. Don't put Travis Scott on my TV ever again. Well, I hate to tell you this, but Sarah, that's happening. Yeah, I don't even want John Moxley or Dean Ambrose back. After watching this Death Rider storyline, I'm good, bro. The promo battle with Cena and Cody was hot in my opinion. Makes me want to see Cena win even more now and pull a CM Punk. Dude, it would be so good. It would be so good. And he barely showing up in general. Ooh, I like it. Am I going to WrestleMania? Absolutely not. Have you seen those prices? Brother, I'm trying to save up for a wedding. Yeah, not for WrestleMania. It's gonna be a while till I go to one of those again. You don't watch AEW, but how bad does the AEW Death Rider storyline destroy? Did it destroy his character overall? Yeah, it did. It hurt John Moxley a lot, in my opinion. Blackpool Combat Club was so good, bro. You know what I mean? I went to WrestleMania 34, and the prices that I paid for that, for every show that I went to, plus Hall of Fame, was far less than anything is far less than like lower bowl tickets than WrestleMania this year. You have an extra ticket if I want to go? Michael, I appreciate that, man, but that requires a flight and a hotel. Like I said, I gotta save up for a wedding, so not gonna happen, unfortunately. Am I watching Dynasty next week? Dynasty is on a Sunday, so yes. If it's on Saturday, no, but if it's on Sunday, yes. And I will be live post show. So that's the thing that's going to happen on this channel is I will be doing post shows for pay-per-views, and then 12 p.m. Monday through Friday live, and that'll be really cool. But yeah, Justin, I mean AEW's been great these last few weeks. I hope they continue to build up Dynasty correctly. It's been really good. So everybody thinks I'm so anti AEW, but they just want to believe that. It fits their narrative. It fits their narrative to like spread the thing of like, oh, Ango wants AEW to die, and quite frankly, I wouldn't want AEW to die because, yeah, I don't know why I would want AEW to die. I said this so many freaking times in 10 years of doing shit. People used to think I wanted WWE to die. Now they think I want AEW to die. Brother, my whole life depends on these companies being around. Like, at the end of the day, I just want them to be good. That's really all it is. And I feel like AEW has been relatively good these last few weeks. But they've always been just inconsistent. That's the problem. And nobody fucking wants to hear that. The sickos online are so fucking dumb. They think AEW is perfect 25 trillion% of the time, and it's like, no, they're not. And like Dynasty has a relatively good build, and they're already making me excited for All In. But guess what? I really don't give a shit, because after Dynasty, if they don't continue it, or after Double or Nothing, they don't continue it, if they just keep doing this up and down slope, it's not fun. WWE's like this, just consistent, you know. Tay says, why do people like you and JD get so much unnecessary hate? Y'all speak y'all truth. I mean, bro, the thing is, it's subjective. First of all, it's subjective. Anytime I have an opinion on something, it's subjective. I could say Jimmy and Jay is great, and people could be like, I don't like that. That doesn't make me or them a hater, right? But the thing is, I will talk about AEW's business decisions like I will with WWE. And my issue with AEW's business decisions and creative decisions at times is that they are very weak. They are a very weak organization. And I don't have a hatred for Tony Khan. I don't have a hatred for anybody in AEW. But I do think sometimes AEW, and it's not recent, by the way. That's the funniest part about this entire thing. People think it's recent. I keep getting called mini JD, and it's so funny because they think that offends me. But the reason why I laugh so much about it is because there was times where JD was shitting on WWE, and all I did was praise AEW. And then it's like it's not based on business metrics. By the way, shitting on AEW leads to less viewership. Some people don't seem to understand that, but it does lead to less viewership. If I was just sitting here constantly happy, positive about every single thing in wrestling, people would probably be more inclined to subscribe. And it's not, and I'm not even a dickhead about it, bro. But if I just don't think they're doing something good, I'm going to say that I don't think they're doing something good. Like I was today with WWE at 12 p.m. If you guys saw that live stream, I was talking about John Cena and Cody is like kind of underwhelming. Now today we got Raw and it picked up a little bit, but that's real-time reaction. Everything I do is real-time reaction. So the funny thing is when somebody says, "Oh, you're like JD," you're just echoing JD's statements. It's like, motherfucker, go back and watch the old shit. I have almost 3,000 videos on this channel. Almost 3,000 videos on my channel. I don't put on a persona. There's no facade here. So like calling me mini JD is just really dumb because me and JD have totally different views on wrestling. Me and JD have done collaborations, and that's just kind of how it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such different times. And I think the thing is, like, the same people who get pissed at me for criticizing AEW don't even realize that I'm the one who literally advocates for people to buy AEW pay-per-views. I don't know. That doesn't sound like somebody who wants to see a company die, but that's just the IWC. And to be honest with you guys, I don't really value the opinions of people who are not in our community. So like people that are in our community, like you guys who are in the chat or in Discord, like people who like were actively talking amongst each other about wrestling, like I respect your guys' opinions, because if you disagree or agree, you're not being a dickhead about it, right? But if you're one of these people on Twitter who hide behind an animation avatar and you just start calling people grifters and talking shit about them because they don't like the same thing as you, yeah, I really don't have respect for those kind of people. And I won't. But they think they're actually doing something. That's the funny thing. Like they think they're actually doing something and they're not. And that's why I think it's so fun, like watching Raw, watching SmackDown, watching AEW, watching all these different shows. Like, if you watch my content, I am literally the most consistent fucking person on this platform. The most consistent. But obviously, nobody's ever going to want to do the research or seek the context if it doesn't fit their narrative. So, like, that's one thing that, like, genuinely I have to be honest about. Like, it became really funny because I even see the stuff that people say about JD, and I think JD is a content creator who, yeah, he's more amped up than I am, obviously. But when you look at JD, for example, and what he talks about, like JD has the tendency, and I'm not advocating or anything for anybody. Like I'm not in, like it's not a simple thing as like, oh, I'm going to talk shit about this person because other people do, or I'm going to praise this person because other people do. Like my free opinion is this. I've met JD in person. I've had real life interactions with him, and I've talked wrestling with JD. I remember being on JD's channel and we were having a conversation, and we were just totally two different mindsets about what is happening on WWE television. He was trashing WWE for things, and I would be like, but it's logical. Like, I understand you don't like it. It's not exciting to you, but it is logical. And I'm going to show you how it's logical. And we've had conversations about AEW where to him, everything was perfect. And I was like, bro, this is like years and years ago. And I'd be like, this is a flaw, man. Like, you'll see. Oh, and then Cody leaves, and things change. Like, I don't know. I just think it's funny. Calling me JD Jr. is really dumb. I think JD has done a really, like, he has a very, very, very loyal audience. He's done a really good job of building to that audience and catering to his audience. That's what he's done. He caters to his audience. And, I don't think just because, listen, I think it's so funny. People like to do this, but anybody could do what me and JD do. If anybody wants to be a content creator, it's not hard, bro. It's not hard to become a content creator. It's hard to do the grind. It's hard to manage it like a business. It's hard for things like that. But if you want to be a content creator, anybody can do it, and you just learn and you figure it out, and you figure out what kind of audience you want and things like that. But I'm not even gonna bullshit you guys. Like, I love this. It's my full-time job, but it's not easy as easy as people think sometimes, because you only see what we show you, you know? But anybody could become a content creator. It's just up to you if you want to do the work and grind and like learn things and stuff like that. And I always say, like, if you're not learning, you're not really doing, if you're not learning something, you're not really gaining anything from it. Because for me, personally speaking, like, I try to learn something new all the time, for sure. And it becomes fun because when I watch Raw today and I enjoy Raw, this is my job. Imagine if your job is to watch wrestling and you don't actually enjoy what you watch. All I ask for is don't insult my intelligence when you put on these shows. That's it. I'm not one of these dudes. Like, I'm the most simplest person to actually satisfy as a wrestling fan. Give me week to week continuous content. Right? Like, every week or every other week, like, whatever the story is, whatever the play is, like, whatever you're doing, just give it to me and let me follow along. I like to watch wrestling just like a Netflix show, like a series. I don't give a fuck if the match is like a 10-star banger. That doesn't matter to me. It doesn't do anything for me. It's not, I don't care about that. Sure, maybe that's not the popular opinion within the IWC. I don't care. People try to fucking gatekeep this wrestling shit like it matters, but it doesn't. For me personally, you can do all the cool moves you want. That's awesome. That's cool. But I need substance to the wrestling that I'm watching. So there's a reason I get a little bit more frustrated with AEW, because how the fuck do you deliver me something so good like Hangman and Swerve and Tony and Mariah and Kenny and Hangman, and like, you can't do this consistently. But meanwhile, WWE has figured out a way for me to be really intrigued with what's going on with Penta and Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu and Chelsea Green and some of these things that are on the lower side of the card. It's just crazy. Like, just follow-ups, bro. Just follow-ups. So I think a lot of times, like, it's just the way it is, bro. Some people don't like to hear it, but I'm going to be very, very fair in my criticisms for pro wrestling. But that's just my opinion. And I don't want you guys to take my opinion like I'm some god. I've always said that. Form your own opinion. We just sit here, we chill, we talk about wrestling, and that's what it is. A lot of people were hating on Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. I was happy. Why? Why was I happy Jey Uso won? Bro, I was shocked. I didn't think WWE had the balls to do it. In the same token, I was fucking pissed off about Charlotte winning. Why? Because that's their safe option. That's what they always do. You know, they just rely on the same person. It's just the way it is, bro. It's just the way it is. Like, I don't care to have the popular opinion. I'm not here to win a popularity contest. I just like the fact that I'm open and honest about it. It's like me and Billy. Me and Billy do not see eye to eye with this John Cena, Cody Rhodes thing. We don't. But it generates a really fun conversation, because maybe me and Billy don't agree or don't disagree, but it's a fun conversation. And we'll see who's right. We'll see who already gets it, you know? But it's like you watch wrestling and then like you go on Twitter and it's a cesspool of negativity. And it's literally people who are like just fucking dumb. But it's like, oh, Penta got buried because he got pinned today. Okay. Like, does the shit ever get jealous out of the stuff that comes out of your mouth, bro? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you're going to have Penta get pinned. Well, yeah, Penta shouldn't be undefeated for 6 million years. Penta should be pinned. Oh, wait, you're doing this to further a storyline? Oh, okay. But it's just philosophy. Some people don't care about storylines. Well, if that's the case, then don't watch WWE, because WWE does not care. Like, that's how WWE operates. And by the way, if you guys want to know why WWE's at the top and companies like NWA and all these other companies are not, it's because all these small companies, AEW, TNA, whatever, none of them have ever crafted a storyline that is as big as what WWE has done with the Bloodline. Like, this whole resurgence with the WWE stemmed from the Bloodline. And then it stemmed from Cody Rhodes. But when another wrestling company can produce stories at that quality and at that level, it's going to change. People care about stories, man. People care about stories. And anybody who acts like they don't care about stories are lying. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Raw was so freaking good today, bro. And the reason why Raw was so good today was because of stories. It's because of the follow-up. And now, by the way, we have 2 more Raws until WrestleMania. Did today's episode change a lot for people? Yeah, it probably did. They probably did. But I was looking on Twitter and I saw people were like, "Oh, Penta's buried." I'm like, man, you guys are so fucking full of shit. Wrestling fans love this whole idea of like, we're going to talk about terms. We're going to use terms to talk about things that like don't really add up, that aren't accurate. You're going to say Penta got buried. Well, okay. Can't even really change people's minds, bro. But yeah, the Bloodline is the reason for the resurgence of WWE's popularity. And by the way, that's the reason why people are so interested in Jey Uso. So for those who are curious as to why this Jimmy and Jey thing worked out so well, it's because people know about their stuff with the Bloodline. So it transformed WWE. It's so unique. There's this impact from Roman Reigns and the Bloodline that has a ripple effect on all these other stories that happen in WWE. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton is not a massive feud without the Bloodline. So that is something to keep in mind. You know, you got to definitely keep that in mind. You know. Joseph Martin coming through with $1.99. He says people take too serious. Just enjoy the ride. Bro, it's one thing. Listen, you're passionate about something. You know, if you're passionate about something, you're going to be outspoken about it. You're going to talk about it. But I think, like, for wrestling fans, it's never... I just think everything's fake, to be honest. I think the outrage in wrestling is faker than the actual wrestling itself, bro. Because the outrage that people have, it's not productive at all. And if you look at WWE and AEW, and you get rid of social media, it's the thing I told Billy before, but if you get rid of social media and don't go on it, you're going to like it a lot more. I don't sit on Twitter too much when I'm watching wrestling anymore. And I use Twitter as an example, but it exists on Facebook and Instagram and everything like that too. Yeah. Shout out to Joseph Martin, by the way, for the super chats today, bro. Thank you so much, man. Who will beat Mercedes Moné? Probably Athena. Yeah. I don't know. You guys have anything else you want to talk about? We're a little bit over an hour. I should probably get another video out, huh? But you guys can let me know if you got anything else you want to say or any other super chats or any questions. Oh, Miles, I got you. How do you feel about the Lucha Bros being on separate shows? What's your honest opinion in that move by Triple H? Do you believe they'll hold titles at the same time before they reunite down the line? I don't know if they'll hold titles at the same time. I think Jacob Fatu is a sure lock. He's like a for sure lock for the U.S. title. But I do think, I do think that they're both going to have their own thing. I think Penta will be Intercontinental Champion at some point, but we'll see. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Ooh, David, you had to give me with the Pistons question. What do you think the Pistons will sign in the offseason, Ango? Nobody. I don't want them to sign anybody. I want them to keep this team the same way they are. But all right, guys, we'll keep it at that. Fun little live stream, impromptu. Shout out to all the super chats. We hit the super chat goal. Shout out to Phil. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the chat, man. All of you guys are awesome, dude. You guys are so great. You guys show up all the time, and I appreciate it greatly. So thank you again. With that being said, I will be back later. Maybe I'll go live on Twitch later. Maybe I'll play FIFA or something, or WWE 2K. If I play WWE video games, I'm going to be streaming on more Ango, probably. I don't know. But we'll figure that out. I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to eat dinner, and then, yeah. Billy says Pistons should sign Devin Booker. Hopefully nobody listens to that, because to get Devin Booker, you're going to lose a lot of draft picks, and you're going to have to trade like Beef Stew and Jaden Ivey and a whole bunch of young guys that are really good. And the Pistons are goated, so they don't need to make a change. Oh, I should start a Pistons podcast. That'd be fun. That would suck. No, I mean, the podcast would be sick, but that would suck having to talk to Billy about Pistons, because how the hell can you want Devin Booker when you have to give up everybody else? Silly, silly, silly. Silly Billy. That's what we're going to call Billy on the channel. Don't forget that, chat. Tomorrow, when Billy's back on the show at 12 p.m., Silly Billy. Silly Billy. We're going to make that a thing. That's the new gimmick. Silly Billy TKO. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all coming through. If I go live with gaming, it's either going to be on more Ango or on Twitch. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet, but I got to eat some dinner, make a video, that type of thing. And yeah. Shout out to Phil. I'll see Phil on the show Wednesday. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. Raw, excellent show. Ango, signing off. Peace.